and you lack assurance. You're troubled. You want God to give you peace and full assurance of your salvation. You want to know for sure that you've been saved. You want to know. You want that peace. Did you know that assurance is something that is given to you by the Lord and is something that has to be maintained? Now, your salvation doesn't have to be maintained, but the assurance of your salvation does need to be maintained. It's a benefit of knowing God. And then he says that, look what he says. He says, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. He says, well, how in the world? Man, what do you mean that? Well, he loses that sense of preciousness and the reality of what happened to him. You say, is that possible? Talk to some men who do not cultivate their relationship with their wives. And after a period of about 15, 20 years of being married, they don't remember the precious moment of when they met or when they got married and when they said, I do. They forget about that precious moment because they haven't cultivated and built into what they have. And when you do not go back to the time and place and remember, that's what the Lord's Supper is about. It is to remind you of your redemption. It's to remind you of your Redeemer. And you participated. You thank Him for your salvation. But when you don't work on this, and when you are willingly ignorant of these things by neglect, then you're going to lack the assurance of your salvation. And I'm going to tell you what happens to, I've seen this happen in a lot of Baptist churches. And listen, if you question your salvation, you need to make your calling and election sure. You need to talk to somebody. You need to make sure that you are born again. You need to know Christ. But here's what you don't need to do. You don't need to make profession after profession after profession after profession because you're too lazy to develop what God has put into your heart. And so you run on feelings, and when the feelings run out, you want God to give them back to you again, so you make another profession of faith, and then you run on that for a while, and then you run out again, and then you make another profession of faith, and then you run on that till you run out. And then you wear out. Say, well, this don't work for me. You're willingly ignorant. You are neglecting your Christian life. You're neglecting your Christian life. Am I making any sense to you? And I'm here to tell you that the Lord is not pleased with that. And not only that, but you need to cultivate your Christian life because one day you're going to die and one day the Lord's coming back and you're going to enter into the kingdom of God. And what you have done since the day you got saved is going to determine not how you enter, but what will be on the other side when you enter. You say, I don't believe that. Well, that's because you're ignorant. You say, oh, you're insulting me. No, I'm not trying to insult you. But if I can provoke you, I'll do that. Hopefully, not to wrath, but to good works.